Well, folks, this was an unexpected but very pleasant diversion. In between my uploading of videos, I do like to watch a good B movie every now and again, and I actually had a question from my father about this. He asked me if I knew of any failed TV pilots, and we ended up just looking up a list of a bunch on Wikipedia. I believe we referenced the list for CBS. Anyways, he asked if we could find any of these online, and I randomly chose one in the middle of the list labeled K9000. Anyways, this led to a series of other links and clicks, and for some reason, I found the entirety of the movie online. Now my father, in genuine curiosity, asked if there was any reviews of this on YouTube, and oddly enough there were not. Anyways, when he found out that K9000 was on the internet, but no one had really watched it, he challenged me. He said, son, why don't you review K9000? See what you have to tell to the world about it. And this is the story of when I watched K9000. Okay, so here's the opening shot. Boom! Quarter. Boom! Vending machine. This is shot. Establishes that Eddie, that's our boy Eddie, Mullet Man here, does not like machines because they screw him out of everything, at least according to him. Anyways, Eddie then attempts to assert dominance on this machine and promptly gets yelled at by this nice gentleman who probably owns it and would like it in one piece. Anyways, cut to Eddie and his partner, Nick, or Mick. The audio mix is kind of weird, I can't tell. And they're on the street, and they see a guy who got away from them earlier, stole like $5,000. Anyways, Eddie is a cop who doesn't let his guy get away, in his own words. So they begin a furious, gratuitous 90s anime chase. Anyways, they do some cop stuff, run through a motorcycle, go through some alleyways. The shopping cart flipping over, that's pretty cool. They almost kill this dude here with the motorbike. Anyways, start doing some like ramming and making the other car accidentally run through a boutique here, run by this gentleman with the neat accent. And anyways, Eddie says it's because his brakes failed because technology don't like him. You think there's gonna be like a tense standoff, like cop talking? No, they just blow the fuck out of this guy. Anyways, so after they do that, there's this funny wallet joke at 5 minutes in where he's like, yo, look at my badge, and then the guy's like, wait, I know that model, that's insert name here. Boutique man comes up to them and says, wow, thanks for ruining my livelihood. This was not worth your $5,000. And then we get back to the cop station, where they have the cliche of the balding and angry, irascible police captain telling the rookie or the rash cop he's on thin ice. Also, machines hate Eddie, if you haven't known, because boom, no coffee for him. Anyways, this cuts to the next scene, kind of just a weird jump cut, where there's a bunch of weirdos in front of a lab, and they say, animal testing bad, we need to not test animal. And that makes sense, probably shouldn't be injecting weird chemicals into animals and like doing all that, weird stuff. This is our boy Danny, and he needs some Theraflu because he's sick or whatever. Anyways, he slips a key card out to this nice man in this nice not mullet. I don't think it's a mullet, but yeah, they slip him the key card, and he talks to this other guy, Ponytail, on this semi-trailer. We'll get back to him later. Eddie's a traffic cop now, and yeah, machines still hate him. Although I will mention that when he gets home, later in the scene, those are some nice Doritos. Anyways, we then cut to the lab, and a bunch of scientists guys are doing sciencey stuff, and there's like a bunch of words in the background over a computerized voice, and they just say, boom, this is a box, and there's a thing in this box, and it may or may not be K9000, you figure it out. Anyways, in the middle of this process, there's a big old break-in, and man with nicer mullet just starts shooting the crap out of everyone, and yeah, it doesn't go well for any of the technicians, except for this fat guy. He's okay for some reason. Any more on that later. Anyway, so this doctor lady, who may or may not have been named yet, I don't think they name her yet. Her name is Dr. Asia Turner, by the way. Manages to hide under a desk and then crawl through a very conveniently placed ventilation tunnel. Also, just want to admire this slow motion cheese. That's a thick piece of craft. That's a nice 64 slices there, Anyways, R.I.P. for this door. That kick was not needed. Anyway, so K9000 is stolen. You just take the box, and this accountant-looking guy secures it or whatever, the cryo tubes. So cut back to police office. Mick is like, hey Eddie, you're a cool guy, but you're like messing up my career plans. I need cash and like you know, I'm like the third partner you've had. Can I move on, please? I need to, like, I need stable employment. And Eddie's like, he's a good sport. He's like, yeah, I get it. Anyways, so then they interview this old lady, the protest lady. Her name's Edna. She likes animals. And Eddie's like, hey man, I like animals too. Animal good. Do you recognize anyone weird? And then she's like, yeah, there's a guy with a mullet, but it's not as cool as your mullet. He's probably kind of sleazy. And that's how they figure out that this guy, Mr. Zeiss, or Weiss, I don't remember, and I'm too lazy to look it up after writing the script / notes, is El Bad Guy. So then we cut to this scene where, Doc Turner is with your boy Danny, and she's like, hey man, you sold us out. Dick move, bro. And then Danny's like, you don't get it, bro. You don't. But it doesn't matter because he gets scoped in like the next 22 seconds. And then Weiss just, tries to get that kill streak, but doesn't quite hit Dr. Turner or Eddie. And then a couple minutes later, oh yeah, Eddie just kind of shows up, by the way, and like, they kind of shoot at each other, and then no one important gets hit, and then Zeiss gets away. Next, the same wallet joke. Thought I'd point that out. They like that joke. Now we're in this like lair, this villain cave, this absolute freaking awesome bad guy place to do bad guy stuff, like call people on your 90s phone and try to sell them weaponized dogs. More on that later. Anyways, he does give his accountant man with the cryotubes a hefty paycheck, and then he gets it back when, this scene speaks for itself. Anyways, I thought it was pretty funny that he recycled the check. Like, do you know how many names are probably on that check? Probably only one, because the check's a piece of paper, so he probably wrote a different front for the, other guys he did this to. I'm just saying. And then Weiss promotes salad. Very, very friendly of him. And then we get to the scene where Doc Turner and Eddie are in the car together, and she's like, look man, this is Ice Guy, he's bad. We were in Lebanon, studying dogs, and he shot dogs because he didn't want the terrorists using the dogs against us. Which, I guess makes sense, you don't want the terrorists getting your weapons, so you destroy the weapon. It's a dog, man, that's kind of messed up. Oh yeah, by the way, Eddie was supposed to arrest Dr. Turner because it's kind of suspicious she was the only survivor in a big shooting, and he's supposed to arrest her, but he didn't because he said, I want to fix my career, and this is big if I get everyone somehow by myself, and, take out like 72 terrorists by myself. Anyway, so yeah, she's supposed to be arrested, and he's not supposed to be here. Just, quick note, this is not a coherent script. I literally just typed bullet points after watching a really crappy B movie. Although I will say, really enjoyable in a stupid way. Anyways, Doc Turner was like, I just wanted to make smart dogs so that we could give them to the park service and use dogs for work, which, it sounds really cool. And K9000 does prove to be a very good partner. But I mean, working dogs have been around since like the dawn of dogs, so I feel like it's a little redundant to put like the $20 million brain chip in them to make them like super smart when dogs can already do dog stuff pretty well. Anyways, Eddie's like, I'm gonna need help. I'm gonna call my man, my partner, my man Mustache Mick. And then Mick's like, okay, cool. But then somehow Ponytail's in the police station. They don't really explain it. I might have zoned out for that part. It's 40 minutes in, okay? Mick gets like shot up, man. That dude just gets ripped apart. And then that's no bueno. You think he's dead? I don't think he's dead. He's not dead. Anyway, so next at the 42-minute mark, K9000 has come into the world. He's busted out of his little turkey bag here. He's in the world now. World. He's in the world, the cool world. Cool whip. Anyway, so K9000 presses this button here on this computer so he can talk to Eddie, and then the computer proceeds to put a Dorito in his brain that lets Eddie talk to and understand K9000. And then K9000 saves Eddie by transforming into a stuffed animal and pushing him out of a 4th-story window into water. It made sense in the writer's room, probably. And K9000 just drags him to his apartment. Eddie's apartment. K9000 is not a homeowner or renter, unfortunately. And just talks to him. And then like 2 minutes in to talking to K9000, Eddie's like, holy crap, you could talk? In the convenient writer's thing, they say, well, K9000 says, well, I can. But only to you, Eddie. Only you have the magic brain Dorito. Yeah, K9000's a cyber dog with a big cyber dog brain. He doesn't understand fetch, though, because he's robot. He's like Data, if Data was a dog. Data from Star Trek, that is, Imagine if Brett Steiner played a dog that had more personality. It's not like Data at all, really. But he's likable. He's a good doggo, Him and Eddie bond over when Eddie was a canine cop himself. And Eddie was like, dude, that dog freaking died for me, even though, and he gets emotional, even though that Mick kind of also almost died. So K9000 is like, look man, that sucks, we're not gonna do that again. Cut to the 56-minute mark. Weiss shows up to old lady Edna's thing and says, look lady Edna, you got a nice harbor there. Like, that's not an innuendo, she owns land, like calm down guys, he's not into that. And he's like, I need to use that so I can ship some stuff out that may or may not be doggo related, you know. Gotta get that. You're gonna help me do it because I'm gonna shoot you up if you don't. Let's cut to 57:10, where K9000 has a classic line when he sniffs and he tracks, you know, Dr. Turner down. Eddie says, "Well, what do we should do? Where should we go? What's going on?" And then K9000 is like, "Dude, I'm cybernetic, not psychic." I thought that was funny. I wrote that specifically right there. He does have cellular powers though. He's like a cell phone tower. He has built-in Bluetooth before Bluetooth. So using these cellular powers, Eddie calls his boss and is like, hey man, we gotta protect Mick. Someone's after him. And Eddie gets to the hospital just in time, and you think there's gonna be a big fight between him and Ponytail. Ponytail's been kind of like the muscle so far. Nope, he just falls out a window and frickin' dies. But you know, he deserved it. And then the captain and Eddie do like they don't shake hands. They, you know, metaphorically do. They're like, yeah, it's my guy. Anyways, this scene was funny. And then 106, same wallet joke. Nice. Now we're wrapping up. It's established that Zeiss is the bad guy and he wants to steal the data tapes so he can sell weaponized super dogs to like terrorists and stuff and make a shit zillion dollars in the process. Eddie somehow pulls everyone out of the hostage situation, but then gets double crossed by the one guy who somehow survived the lab shooting. That's odd. Yeah, it turns out he was a double agent the whole time. And everyone ends up in this creepy, weird basement next to a janitor closet, I guess. That nice toilet paper, dude. They were ahead of the curve. They say, look, Doc, gotta take that brain implant out. We need that Dorito. We don't need K9000 wasted on this. And, you know, they're at gunpoint, so she starts to do it. And then she pulls a sneaky, you know, shoots this guy up with whatever that saline solution is. And then, you know, the gang kind of just beat the crap out of everyone and get out. And then, you know, they ponder life's questions, like whether or not Blue Shield covers that. And they also introduce us to the beautiful word dogaphone, and then they go after Weiss and the gang, and then Eddie shoots literally everyone except Weiss, and oh, it says Weiss or Zeiss. The script is so confused. Anyways, K9000 jumps the gun though, literally, and gets shot, and then Eddie freaks out, and then he gets shot. They chase Weiss into this observation tower thing, and then like Weiss, they beat the crap out of each other in nice suits, I might add, very nice suits. And then Weiss is about to finish Eddie off, but then K9000 limps all the way up over the course of like 17 minutes, pushes him out the thing, and then this scene is pretty funny. And then everyone faints, and then we just cut to the beach. You know, this sets up, because this is a failed TV pilot, I don't think I've said that yet, but this is the setup to it, and this beach scene really sets them up where they're like, haha, well, I didn't want my K9000 project to be used like as a cop dog, but you guys make a pretty cool pair. And then they learn the meaning of fetch, and K9000 catches a ball, and then boom, freeze frame, movie's over. And yeah. That's that was my experience watching K9000. Now, was it garbage? No, surprisingly not. I wouldn't say it was good. It was objectively mediocre. Like, in terms of production value, audio mixing, a lot of the acting, a lot of it's just like, what? Okay. I'm not going to defend a lot of that, but it was enjoyable. Also, before I get any further into why I like the movie, though, I should say that I did watch it on, like, 1.25 speed. Like, watching it normal speed, like, I don't think it's good for your movie if watching it 25% faster feels normal, because the parts that were at normal speed that when I put the speed at normal, I felt like it was dragging on. Like there was some guy in the production booth, I'm gonna get that 72-minute mark, But watching it at 1.25 speed felt natural. Felt good. And I think the movie was, from a fun perspective, good. Objectively, no. I'm sorry, K9000 is probably not going to get any kind of award for special effects or writing or insert list here, but it's actually a very fun romp. I gotta say, I don't like live action. I think it's boring a lot of the time. I need stuff to follow, but I love dogs. So maybe I'm biased. Maybe I'm just giving this 5 out of 5 paws because I love dogs. But I'm just saying, man, there was genuine bond between this man and his dog. And that's a story as old as dirt, man. Man, dog, boom. You like meat? He likes meat. You gotta dig some stuff up? He likes digging. Man, dog, boom, lock it in. Simple story. Good telling. Also, K9000 has 1,000 IQ. And he gave us the word dogaphone. cool guy, gotta say. So, would I recommend K9000 as a good movie? No. Would I recommend watching it if you just need, you know, you got an hour and a half? No, not probably like an hour, because you should watch it somewhat faster. You got an hour to kill, and you want to see a weird remnant that looks 80s / early 90s as hell, I would do it. And look at these Doritos, man. Anyway, so yeah, I would say K9000 is actually a good movie. In terms of it sucks, it's crap, it's a dumpster fire. But in terms of enjoyability, I genuinely liked it. The characters are likable enough. There's enough overacting mixed in with enough of kind of taking it seriously to give the movie a kind of like, I don't know, it's a weird quality that walks the line between cheese and like unintentional cheese and intentional cheese. And for the most part, it says unintentional cheese. Like, it's cheesy as hell. You're gonna get the cheese block from this, but like, it's genuine cheese. It's not like they're trying to be corny or weird. It's just genuine. Oh, that's what happened. And K9000 is definitely a thing that happened, but I'm glad it happened to me.